Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time it is in your part of the world, and welcome to the first ever episode of Stream Sniping, a series where we basically interview content creators and streamers from all different niches of all different sizes, in the hopes that no matter what journey you are currently on or about to start, you find some inspiration or answers to any questions you may have. And it's also great to see other people in the space share their own experiences and connect with each other. So for our first ever episode, I'm extremely proud to announce our guest. He's an absolute legend, a good friend of mine. I want you all to please help me welcome ExpBee.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Squishy. I think the term legend, I'm just a general Joe. But so happy to be on this. And I do like the name, Stream Sniping. It's a nice play on a good versus an evil. So hopefully this is the good segment of it.
Thank you. Well, me, myself, obviously I know who you are. Your community knows who you are. So for the people potentially going to watch, please let them know who you are.
Just as I said, General Joe originally streamed Escape from Tarkov and really wanted to connect with people throughout the country, the globe, through streaming and content creation. Stream daily at 6 p.m. over on Twitch and daily YouTube videos. And yeah, I'm really grateful and honored to have met the people that I have through what we've been doing. It's always been a dream of mine to create content, but I have to admit, feeling that community vibe and getting to know people and their stories, that far exceeded my expectations. So yeah, call me XB, call me Connor, been called worse names on stream. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Now for the way the actual series will work, we have a list of 10 questions. They're broken into 5 categories of 2 questions. So obviously we know yourself and any other guests that may or may not come on are extremely busy, so we don't want to keep you for too much of your time. So our first category is background and beginnings. So what first inspired you to start streaming, and how did you choose the kind of content that you create? Good question.
Probably my main inspiration was my younger brother. He started streaming. He was a FIFA content creator, but he focused on like the analysis and getting better at FIFA. So he did it himself and then replicated it to an audience. And he went from 0 to 160,000 subscribers in less than 12 months on YouTube. Thousands of people on his Twitch. But he has made some long life friends to the point they're at his wedding through streaming. And it kind of nestled in me. I always knew the scene was there and I always wanted to get into it. I had no Scooby on how. So I kind of just went under his wing, really. I worked with him for a bit as well as an editor. And that was kind of like my main introduction into it, and probably the main catalyst on why I wanted to do it. So I got to working, saved up the pennies, because it's not cheap, this tech stuff. And started to put it together and just planned and prepared. And I'm the type of person, I prepare for the worst, just so that when things do come good, even if it's 10 viewers on a YouTube channel, it feels amazing. So I think that's my main inspiration, and that's what got me into content. The choice of content, always loved FPS. Always loved it. You're more towards like your armor style games. I was an avid Warzone player through COVID, did fairly well in that. But then when I saw Tarkov, it was, I needed it. It was a military simulator, very difficult, hard learning curve, just fits my niche. So that was the whole reason why I got into that space.
That's amazing. It's honestly really wholesome as well, because you ask most people and it's, I seen Ninja or I seen Shroud or some other massive streamer, and it's like, oh, that's what I want to do. But to take the inspiration from somebody so close to you, it's extremely rare and it's very wholesome. I like that.
I would like to add as well, very fortunate very lucky to have, a brother that was, I'm going to say successful, not on the monetary side. I mean, successful on how much joy he got out of what he did and the people he met. And it was, I was the insider, so to speak, on how he did things, the way he approached the quite vicious market that it is out there in the content space. Everybody wants to be a content creator, in a gaming sense or whatever, but it is so competitive. But if I had to quickly interject one bit of advice, be yourself. That's all there is.
Completely agree.
Nothing else to it.
That leads us on to our second question as well. So what can you tell us about your first ever stream? Like, what went wrong? What went right? What was the biggest thing you've learned from your initial stream?
So I believe my first stream was this year, February, and my audio was all over the place. It was too loud. They couldn't hear me. I bought a new PC rig and I had no end of problems from day one. GPU fails, CPU failure. So it was a mess, to be quite honest. But I don't know if it's just the type of character that I have. I saw it all as a challenge. You know how some people would be like, nah, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Something's telling me that I shouldn't do this. To me, it's like, no, it's putting all these tests and trials and tribulations in front of me to overcome, to keep on slugging, just to keep at it, enjoy it, go through the pain, go through the heartache, and then come on the other end. But the stream itself, so I had Weavster. He's a friend of mine. He's been on Twitch. He was telling a few of his friends, and I didn't really have anybody, to be honest. But I think my first stream, it was like I had 3 people in there, and it felt amazing. Just to say hello to somebody whilst I'm playing a game that I thoroughly enjoy. It didn't feel pressured. It didn't feel wrong. It just felt so enjoyable. And it's going to sound really silly. I think I kind of miss those moments in a sense. And I'm nobody, viewers or whatever you want to call it. But I kind of miss you're with yourself, and when somebody comes in, it's like that one-to-one. You've got one person, you can talk to them, and it's like you get to know them, they get to know you. Whereas now it's like there's multiple people, and you're trying to think, what did they say last stream, and this, that, the other. So yeah, that was my first stream, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely fantastic. I will say that as well, for anyone looking to get into streaming, which we will touch on a little bit later. Having at least one friend or anyone that can jump in a chat with you, it makes a world of difference. It helps you break that no talking, afraid to sort of chat or engage. It really breaks you through that mold. So it's really good that you had that from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that leads us on to our second category, which is growth and community. So how did you build your community? And why do you think people keep coming back to your streams? Like, why do they stick around?
I find it very hard to talk about myself in a positive way, to be quite honest. And I think this, Squishy, from being in the streams. I say it as I see it, and I just say how I feel. Sometimes, but you guys take the mick out of me when I try and print things on stream and I don't get it, but I just say what I see. But I think I never looked at it. I hate the term viewers.
Yeah.
That's people. Like, you see the bots that come in as an early streamer. If you do get into it, you'll be hit with by the best viewers on streamboo.com and all this kind of stuff. But they're not viewers, they're people. And I am so gracious that people, even if they take a minute out of their day to stop by and say, hi ExpBee, how are you? And it just starts a conversation, and I get to talk to them and listen to their stories. So I think I never really set out on how to build a community. I think that naturally happens when people resonate with who you are as a person, because anyone can watch gaming content. Everybody can see it. You could go on YouTube now or Twitch now, go in the categories. There are millions of channels with the game that you enjoy. It's simple as that. And I know there's this big bias towards, you need to be entertaining, you need to do this, you need to do that. Of course, there needs to be those elements from a content point of view, because you want to entertain people. But there's a lot of people in this space, viewers, people, gaming category and industry. Not everybody wants the burnt peanuts. Not everybody wants the ninjas. Not everybody wants the XQCs. They want the people, those type of people want people that they can relate to. Do you know what? They seem like a nice, genuine person. They play the game that I enjoy. They might not be very good at it, but neither am I. So we've got that in common. And I think I just let it happen. But if you look at it from a strategical point of view, I'd probably word it as not build a community. How did I connect with people? And that is content elsewhere. Pushing my content on what I like. Say if I've done a stream, call it, we'll talk Arc Raiders, for example, and I've done something and I've thought for a moment, that was funny, or that was cool, or that's helpful. Right, I'm going to put that content out there. No expectations. But then people start to engage with it and come into the stream. And then you start a conversation. I didn't even talk about where they've come from. How did you find me? Why did you like this content? Like, you don't. It's hello, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? And just have a conversation. So I think that's always going to be my approach. And even with the YouTube, I try my best. I love creating stories in video games, narrative. You know, I think it's one thing that I took from school. I loved my English writing, and I loved to try and script things. So I would work tirelessly on, right then, how can I make these moments, turn it into somewhat mini movies, really, and put it on the good old tubes. And if 2 people enjoy it, that's amazing. You know, I could play it on my TV out my window now. Not a single person. I'll get more people driving past than the amount of people that view it on a YouTube channel. Not one of them would pay any attention. So even if you just get one person, it's everything. So yeah, so that was my approach to community and connecting and growth. One
thing I will add as well, in regards to your community in general, one thing that I find incredibly special, and it says so much for the people that you deal with, and well, deal with probably a wrong term to use, but that you invite in, that you bring into your streams. Even with small streamers, especially with larger streamers, a lot of people go into the chat and it's like, I want the one-on-one with the streamer. My only chat, whatever I'm typing, is going to the streamer. Whereas with your community, everybody is chatting with each other. Everyone's taking the mick out of each other, having a laugh with each other, and it's so lovely to see, and it's honestly such a rare thing to see as well. So a massive shout out to your community as well, because that is absolutely fantastic to see.
It's something that I say to them, like, you know, I try my best to connect with everybody, even off stream. If anybody ever drops me a message, I will always respond. You know, I see it as, who am I to claim that I haven't got time for somebody? They've got time for me on a stream. I can sure as hell make time for them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where we're at. And we're very small in perspective, but you know, we had a little meetup and 2 people turned up and I was ecstatic, and I got to meet the people behind a screen, because to me it's like your name's on a screen but you're people. And I got to meet Ryan and Reedy, and honestly because everybody I feel so far in this community is so real, you just click, and there's no, and I say it in streams, on YouTube videos, there's no egos, we're just gamers. That's it. There's no space for egos. Nobody is bigger and better than the other, because I'm a big believer, and I'm not trying to get too philosophical here, but we all go out the same way, regardless of the money, the status, everything. We are all the same people.
Exactly.
So that's what I try and just promote, really.
Well, that actually leads us into our next question here. So what's been the most memorable moment that you've had, either during your streaming journey or directly involving your community?
It's a difficult one because there's a few, but I would probably say the most memorable, and this is where, for the wrong reason, to be quite honest. The most memorable was the first 24 hour. And it was memorable because I could not believe the amount of support. And I don't want to talk about monetary values, but the amount of support that people showed through subs, donations, bits, and things like that was far exceeded what I thought. And they were winding me up. I had to have my legs waxed and hair dyed pink and eating a funny, horrible pizza. various other things, but I could not, to me, I still don't comprehend it, Squishy. It was like, why me? Why donate to me? Why sub to my channel? And I get it. It's like, I'd rather just there be no ads on my Twitch stream. I say it all the time. And I'm like, you know, if I can get to a place where I can turn everything off, I'm gonna, like, regardless, and hold me to that, and you have this as footage. But it's like, why me? And after that stream, I nearly broke down in tears, because a bit of a backstory to myself, current like health problems and things like that. I don't want a violin, but I'm not able to work at the moment, so things are quite difficult. And you don't really get to see that through a screen. You might look, oh, he's got a nice new gaming chair, he's got a rig, he's doing this, he's doing that. I've got 37p in my bank. Like, don't let like the book cover try and portray the true story. But that is my most memorable, and leading into it, I think it's because the amount of conversations that I had with people after the fact of that, and the reasons why they wanted to do it. And it really was heartwarming and a lesson for me, to be quite honest. And I can't thank anybody enough. Like I say, I'm not here to say, give me money, support, donate, sub. It's not about that. When people choose to do it, I'm grateful, but I'm just gracious to have people to have a chat. You know, keeps a lonely day when the missus is working 12 hours, keeps a lonely day ticking.
Well, that's lovely. That's honestly very wholesome. And I know we've chatted a few times before about it, where it's, if you get into streaming for the money, you're not going to succeed. And it's not the right thing. I know we chatted, we said we both get in, have a bit of crack with people, meet new people, to make friends, and just bring people together. It's the one big thing. Never go into it from a monetary standpoint. No. Just think of the people.
Though, just to play devil's advocate on that though. So, and I'm talking about it from my brother's perspective. He had a game plan. And the game plan wasn't to be this hyper successful YouTuber and Twitch streamer and earn a good amount of money. It was never that. It was about to be successful in his craft. So even though you don't go in it for the money, go in it with, I want to be successful in the videos I create, the people that I speak to, the streams that I do. I want to be engaging. Always go in with a mind. Don't just click go live and hope something happens. Try and be strategical. Right, this stream I'm going to focus on funny moments, and then I'm going to break those down into shorts and TikToks and put them on X and try and connect with people. Always have a strategy if you want this as somewhat of a very hyper hobby or a career, because that's the result of the hard work and the creative craft, is the career aspect. But don't go into it saying, I want to be like XQC and earn millions. Never do it. Never happens. So it's, you know, I think that's just a bit of devil's advocate. Have a game plan if this is something you want to do.
Fully agree. It takes us on to our next category, which is behind the scenes. So do you have a pre-stream ritual, or do you have like a go-to checklist with the before hitting go live? Which is really funny, because a quick insight just to this episode, we had actually, me personally, for my stream, everybody knows I always forget at least one thing, and it's never a small thing, it's always something of importance. And again, we started the first recording of the first episode, got maybe a couple of minutes in, and I realized the Discord audio wasn't recording because I had it on the wrong channel. So again, that would be great if I would actually write down a goddamn checklist.
I think, you know me with my PC issues. At first, there was, you know, I'd load up half an hour before and I would go over everything. I'd check levels and things like that. You click go live, none of it works. And you're like, what? I've literally just checked this and it's not working. So I kind of moved away from that. And to be honest, there is no real ritual. And it sounds stupid, but from 8 o'clock, well, 7:30 of the morning now, because I take the little one to school, I'm, you know, YouTube scripting, I'm then thumbnail designing, researching different channels that are there, putting the content across, doing all the SEO, then doing the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Twitch, looking at the analytics, and vice versa. And every day then rolls into the same thing, really. It's the same approach daily. I have a video schedule. Sometimes it changes with how the streamer's gone, and it's like, no, actually, there's an idea. I'm going to do that tomorrow. But I always try and follow an agenda when posting long form content on YouTube. And now I kind of just go live. It's quite a nice feeling. It's not that. At first, I was a man who'd never get nervous, but at first, when traction started to build, I was a bit nervous. It was like, what if I've got nobody to speak to? Or I'm gonna, and I think a tip into that though, and it's what I started on. Even if you have no one, not a single person in your stream, it does not matter, because you've got to see it as a building block. And the only suggestion I can have is you narrate your gameplay. You talk as if somebody was there, but say if you're a Fortnite player, you're talking how you're going to break through this building and get that person or this weapon. It's, I've just found these meds, I needed those, and talk to yourself, because it creates engagement and the psychology behind it. If somebody does click onto your stream and they come in and you're talking, it's natural then. It's a two-way conversation. Even though you're not talking to them, they feel more comfortable that you are talking. It's much harder for somebody to say hello and introduce themselves when it's just silent. So always narrate what you're doing. And when somebody comes in, because it will happen, and this is probably for further discussions down the line, but with Squishy doing this, I want to create a network of streamers and new streamers and guides and things like this. So I think it'd be nice for us to work together on that. Don't oversell. You're not trying to get their attention. You're just trying to be you, trying to conversate. Oh, thank you so much for coming in. This is really cool. You're my first viewer. No, people are going to go out the door as quick as possible. And enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Completely agree. Couldn't have put it any better myself. That leads us into our next category, which is challenges and lessons. What's the biggest challenge that you've faced as a streamer, and how did you overcome it?
Snakes in the grass, to be quite honest. Yeah. I trust completely when I meet people. I have like a little approach. It's like, I'll be meeting you for the first time and I'm shaking your hand with my right hand, but then I'm also handing you a noose in my left hand.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I'm giving you 100% of my trust, but if you break it, you may as well hang yourself with me, metaphorically. Because I'm a man of, I think if a man doesn't have his word, he doesn't have his honor. And I will always give everybody the time of day and the chance. And people came into the community. I won't mention names, of course, but then accusations towards me with the content growth, saying that it pretty much cheated the system. And then just pull away. And it's like I never told them and had them out on it. I just was like, right, they'll do their own bidding and they leave and things. But you'll very quickly see who's in it to connect and who's in it to gain. But you just have to be willing to take those hits. And I think it's part of the package. Everyone's going to try and look at a way to make something of themselves in this space. I'm the type of person, I will want any of my fellow streamers to be successful in whatever they want, because I hate the whole like, no, but my viewers, my this, my that, they're not yours. Like, they can choose what they want. Do you really think the producers of EastEnders are worried that most of their watchers now are watching England or Ireland or whatever play on a Wednesday night because it's the international season? Oh no, my viewers. No, there's plenty of people out there that will respect you and appreciate you for who you are and enjoy your content. So try not to get lost in that aspect. But I'd say that was my biggest challenge, because at first it hurts and you're like why? Like, you think the best of certain people, but then when they show their true colors, but you just have to shake it off and go, no, I'm in this for whatever reason it may be for yourself, and keep at it. And persistence is key, because I don't know if it's a follow-up question, but my schedule and approach to this is quite barbaric.
No, that actually leads me essentially directly into the next question, which was, how do you deal with burnout or negativity or the pressure sort of to always perform or always to be on stream at a certain time?
I can't really say I have burnout, because from day one, so actually it was down to, and this is where my partner comes into it. My partner is extremely supportive of what I want to do and enjoy as you could class it as a job, to be quite honest, because, you know, there is a monetary side of it, but she supports me every way. And it was actually down to her that I bought the PC and made the move. I was always the man of finances. I was like, right, if I can't pay for something twice, I don't buy it. And I couldn't pay for 2 sets of everything. And she was like, Connor, if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. So I bought the PC and the monitors, and I took my life savings into it. You know, this isn't a show off or anything like that. I'm looking at a £1,500 monitor. I'm looking at a £4,000 PC. I'm looking at the vast cost of this stuff that it is. Do you need that level of stuff? No, of course not. Me and my way of thinking was, I want the stuff that's going to work for me, and without having to pay for something twice. Sod's law, it's certainly not happened that way, but that was the goal. And I said to her, from day one, my first ever stream, I have a year. I have a year to turn this into something that I'm going to be proud of, and with the whole YouTube approach, a part-time income. That's all it is, part-time income through YouTube. And she was like, yeah. And I said, daily streams, at a set time, set categories, and I planned my whole year out before I started. So I think the whole burnout, and this is when I first started, I worked 90 hours a week. I was a medical gas engineer. I was up at 3 o'clock of the morning, not getting in till 5, 6, and then streaming at 7 and 7 till 11, and then getting 3 hours sleep and doing it all again. And I just set myself a goal, and I am very goal orientated. So I don't really feel the burnout, because I see it as breathing. You just have to do it, because I've told myself I'm going to do it. So yeah, I know everybody's not going to feel that way and be that same way, but probably any advice for that is just break down your goals into smaller segments then. And my first approach for anybody getting into streaming, if you tell me you can stream 3 times a week, 3 hours a night, I would say, right, stream 3 times a week, but stream 1.5 hours a night. The other hour and a half that you said you had free, you are breaking down your VODs, you are creating TikTok shorts, X posts, research, and then do that. Do that until you start to build up a bit of traction and make things more streamlined, because at first it is going to take you a very long time, and then you can start to put more hours into direct to community, because they've got to know you exist first. I use an analogy type thing. Imagine you're an island in the middle of the sea. Nobody knows you're there. Nobody's coming for help because you haven't put the SOS beacon out or nothing. So it's up to you to build bridges to land that you see far away, which is a big challenge, but you need to build that bridge. And once they come over, your place needs to be appealing, engaging, make them want to stay on this island. So you need to make sure it's clean. You need to make sure that it's professional, nice trees, nice lodges for people to sleep in. And that's kind of like the way I see it. Your stream isn't going to reach people, your content is. And then people will view your stream because they've seen your content. So,
well, I love that analogy. That was actually, it nails it right on the head with starting the journey right the whole way through. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Another question now is, I know we sort of briefly touched on it. Obviously, you mentioned now with health issues, you're not working. You mentioned there that obviously you were working and you were coming home late and very little sleep. So how did you find balancing stream life with personal life or commitments, previous commitments?
It wasn't really much of a balance, to be quite honest. It was, I'd get in from work, I'd have dinner, I'd have a shower, and I'd be on stream. And then I'd be doing shorts and TikToks until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some nights was terrible because then I'd have a call saying, right, we need you to travel 4 hours to your next work location the morning after. And it's like, I'm leaving at 3. So I've had 2 hours sleep. But I would advise on the balance, because like I say, my partner is very, very supportive and very, very understanding. I very rarely get to go to bed with her over night time now at the moment. So we do set our little Thursdays and Saturdays. As soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm off. I disconnect. We just go and chill out and do what we want. I suppose it depends on your level of intent. Now, don't see that if you can't do that, you haven't got the right intent. Of course you have, because it's like Squishy said, it's that balance. But I've got a backing and a support network that allows me to go full intent whilst not having no repercussions from lifestyle and life commitments. So
perfect. That's a lot of people, even without streaming in the gaming space, forget that it's all just an illusion. It's not real. There's a real world with real people all around you, and it's important not to forget them, whether it's partners, siblings, family, anybody. Always take that break and keep that connection, because you'll always regret it if you break it in the end.
Well, of course it will. And it's always thinking of like the grass is greener on the other side. You're trying to achieve a goal, but you don't know what that goal is actually going to be once you achieve it. You know what you have around you now, because that's factual. It's in front of you. It's the truth. But I think have conversations, depending on what age you are, possibly listening or watching this, and you want to get into content creation and streaming and things like that. You need to have the hard conversations first. You need to kind of like, talk to people like ourselves and go, right, then how did you do it? I'll give all the information. My brother gave it to me. But yeah, you need to have the hard conversations with the people around you. Right, this is what I want to achieve. It's almost like putting a proposal forward, and you're looking at all the ins and outs and what it's going to take, the time, the sacrifice, the money, and and people don't understand, like, with everything that I've got going on, 2 YouTube channels, Twitch streams, I'm doing all the photo editing, video editing. The cost of that is expensive for no income. And I think this is what people forget. Before I even start about thinking earning money, I'm already like 150, 160 pounds down from all the softwares, the photo editors, the video editors, the asset packs, this, that, sounds. Because obviously you need to have your own royalty-free sounds for a YouTube channel. And it's difficult questions need to be asked first, and then you can plan your attack.
Well put. Well, that leads us on to our 5th and final category, which is vision and advice. So if I was to ask you now, in 5 years' time, where do you see your channel or your content like either evolving or in a set maybe space? What would it be, or where would you want it to be in 5 years' time?
I think if I talk about my YouTube first, I'd want that to be the go-to place for story, narrative, gaming content. So create stories whilst playing games with people you enjoy. I won't talk about numbers because it doesn't bother me. But, I will put it out there. I really like the style of like Tom O'Raffick's YouTube channel, very successful, very big. And the way that he puts his videos together is phenomenal. And when that grows, it is like, I'll be able to take a step back and put my trust and faith in a proper editor. I'm learning as I go. I'd love for somebody to be so skillful and create what these visions are up here and turn them into reality on YouTube. So that would be the goal for the YouTube. And Twitch and live streaming, to be quite honest, it doesn't have a number. It's just, I would love to be gaming and chilling out with more and more like-minded people as ourselves that we've currently got, in a Discord, on a live stream. I know I play Arc Raiders a lot and focus on one particular type of content, but we do variety here and there, and like golf with friends and horror games and things like that. Just, I want people to have a space that they feel accepted and just come to, whether it's just a chat or a rant and not even gaming. That there's a place here. There's no egos. I'm quite straight up on it. If somebody steps out of line, you're banned, you're gone. I don't want to talk to you, whether it's to me, whether it's to anybody else. Like, there's no space for it in today's world. Everyone's got enough going on to then worry about what somebody said in a Discord chat or a live stream. It's so yeah, I know people would want to talk numbers, but mine doesn't have a number. Mine's just I don't know, probably a vision more than an actual physical thing I can look at.
Well, I know both myself and your community will be with you every step of the way, making that journey.
I appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you.
And that leads us into our last question of the series, which is, if you could give, I know throughout the questions and chatting here, we've talked a lot about advice. There's been from starting streaming to software to everything. But if there was one bit of advice that you could give to somebody that's watching now, or maybe jumping into one of your streams and saying, I want to start streaming tomorrow, what's the one piece of advice you would give?
Stupid as it sounds, it is so cliche. Be yourself and have fun. Don't look at numbers. Do not look at numbers. It's not about numbers. You know, I don't have a viewer count on my Twitch things or my live stream. You know, I don't see the amount of people that I've got watching. It's a digit on a screen. You know, I think you base it more on communication with people. So enjoy it and just be yourself. It's as simple as that.
Well, what a great way to end off the first ever episode. I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and join us.
More than welcome, mate. More than welcome.
This will be going on YouTube, so all of his links will be in the description. It'll be going on TikTok as well, and on my Beacons link, we'll have a new section with all the guests, so it'll bring you to their socials as well. So as a final word, just let any viewers know what you've got going on. I know you're literally about to go live in a couple of minutes, so I won't keep you much longer. But anything planned or anything upcoming, let them know.
Yeah, we've got there's a few things that I can't say with companies, but you know, I'm a big advocate of PlaySafe ID, doing a lot with them, Andrew and the team over there. Possible webinars lined up with Embark and big other developers about the online cheating space, and there's some behind the scenes stuff that I've been doing, actually helping an alpha develop. So it's all looking good. There are NDAs in place, so I can't really say much, but from my own perspective, yeah, Arc Raiders, movies, videos, and having fun in a live stream. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time out tonight to come and do this series. And I hope you have a great stream, and no doubt I'll be in there shouting away with you. So
I appreciate you, mate. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, best of luck to anybody that wants to get into streaming, and you know where me and Squishy are.
There you go. Thanks very much, B. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Now, what an absolute legend. Thank you all for watching the first ever episode. We have got a guest lined up for episode 2. And for anyone who wants to get involved, if you do watch this, just drop a comment in the video, let me know and I'll get in touch. But that's the end of the first ever episode of Stream Sniping. Hope you enjoyed and have a good one.